Good morning, everyone. My name is Manu Sharma, and I'm a co-founder at Infinity Aerospace. Infinity Aerospace is building a worldwide ground station network to provide communications to small satellites. Imagine a world where you have to install a cell phone tower to use your phone. How crazy would that be? Well, precisely, all these prominent space companies you see today here do exactly the same thing. And they actually have to install the ground stations to communicate to the satellites to retrieve data such as images and videos. Now, these companies are forced to install and maintain the ground station infrastructure. And these ground station infrastructure are really expensive because it's really designed for a single user and it remains heavily underutilized throughout the time. Not only that, each ground station costs at least $100,000 with 20 to 30% of upkeep cost every year, not to mention that each ground station only provides less than 100 minutes of link time per day. Well, we're changing all of that. The Cosmic Network is bringing the ground station infrastructure as a service. We are installing multi-band ground stations in these areas initially to target our customers in satellite imagery and telecom market. All these ground station hardware is going to talk to a central server that will eliminate the need for local data processing centers like it's done today. At the same time, this cloud infrastructure, the cloud server, will provide scalable and secure architecture for us to grow and provide single-point solution to customers. With powerful web interface and application programming interfaces, we will provide our customers with one single-point command and control, tracking, and data delivery in real time. Now, our web-based interface is targeted towards satellite operators who currently do not have any ground stations. Whereas the application programming interface APIs will enable satellite operators who currently have a ground station but want to enhance their capabilities using a network. This will allow us to penetrate customers at every stage. Now, if you look at our competition, all the three big companies provide similar service only to large satellite customers, leaving a market gap of $3.5 billion. And this enables us to perfectly fit and provide a market opportunity to provide communications to over 90 satellites per year. And industry reports suggest that by the end of 2018, this number will increase to 120 satellites per year. Now, we are bringing a pricing model that really provides economical and operational advantages to satellite operators. At the same time, our pricing enables or supports market of heritage of education and research satellites that are rapidly transitioning into enterprise customers. Now, based on our projections of satellite operations and satellite operators, we expect to generate a revenue of over $40 million by servicing about 150 satellites in orbit by 2018. Now, I'm extremely pleased to announce that we are closing our first enterprise customer who are providing satellite imagery real-time around the world. This month. In fact, I'm flying to South America today evening to close this deal with our first customer. Now, with your $100,000 today, we will install a ground station within 8 months and start serving our first customers, including many US universities. We will be providing up to 3 gigabyte data download per satellite per day, and that's phenomenal. There's no service in the world that provide this capability today. We are further raising $2.5 million to deploy ground stations around the world, 5 ground stations around the world, and grow our team to a size of 10 people. Our team comprises of aerospace engineers and software engineers who have affiliations with SpaceX, Stanford University, Boeing, NVIDIA, high performance computing. More importantly, our team have built network ground stations, have built cloud applications. At the same time, our team have brought successfully a space product into the market in the past. Now, we all have a dream of providing access to space to everyone. And really, there are three things that enables the whole access. The first two, launch cost and satellite hardware. The cost of both launch and satellite hardware have already been decreasing rapidly. And the last piece in the puzzle is connectivity. Connectivity to all space assets as easy as accessing internet. The Cosmic Network is just doing that. Thank you.
Can you talk a little bit about what it would take for the existing competitors to move into the smaller satellite market?
Sure, absolutely. So if you see these big companies, they actually have huge dish antennas that talk to one satellite at a time. Now, for these companies, it's extremely hard, in fact impossible, to serve lower orbiting satellites because they have to track the satellites within 10 minutes. So their infrastructure is incapable of serving lower orbit satellites anyway. That's why they at the first place serve geostationary satellites where they do not have to track big antennas throughout the sky. So that is the first inherent barrier for those people to come to this market. And that's why they haven't been able to do it so far.
At the same time, though, people are communicating with low Earth orbit satellites.
Absolutely. So the companies today install their own ground stations, small ground stations themselves. And really, there's no other solution today. Like, there's no network providers who are providing services. So the customers, the satellite operators, install their own small ground stations, and they're about 5 million dish antennas, and they still not solve the whole problem for that. For example, Planet Labs, which is a company who raised $10 million here, they installed 2 ground stations. They're installing 3 ground stations, one in Monterey and one in UK. And that will still give them a partial connectivity, and they still will struggle to download all the real-time data, imagery data from the orbit.
So why couldn't I do this, for instance?
Sure.
What do you have that makes it unique to you, and why can't somebody else get into competition with you right away?
Sure. So first thing, we are a team of people who have brought the space product into the market before successfully. Some of you may know, we are the creators of ArduLab, the world's first open source platform that enabled people to create great experiments in space. We have created software that provides link to small satellites already. We create that and it's functional in the market today. So that's first thing. The second thing is we are bringing a technology of phased array antennas. Now the phased array antennas are theoretically more powerful than your existing parabolic dish antennas. These are flatbed antennas that can electronically scan the whole sky at the same time, talk to numerous satellites at the same time. And that technology is not existing to any of the competitors today. And we have direct experience with working with this technology in our team. No, these are antennas we procure from different companies. It's just that we are using these technologies to provide a solution that no one has been providing it so far.
How much per ground station is unique to each satellite system in terms of integration? So you do a deal with Planet Labs. How long does that take to get their equipment integrated into your ground station?
Sure. So, for example, in order to, firstly, that the currently satellites, for instance, Planet Labs, they are operating in frequency bands, and we will have ground stations on the ground. And our infrastructure will listen all the data and provide them raw data to them as they need, and they can process themselves firstly. And on the other hand, firstly, do I answer the question in the first part?
I mean, are the communication protocols standard in the industry, or they have to provide you with some sort of Do they do their own stuff, or?
Sure. So there's two areas in that. First is that you use, a lot of companies use standard protocols and standard sort of encryption for their data. And for example, WBSK and other things. So we support that. At the same time, we do support custom encryption as well. So if, for example, a customer comes to us and they have their own invented protocols, we can include that because we are listening basically the radio and frequencies, and we provide them the same encryption, and they can have their own decryption systems built onto our servers, or they can have their local processors to decrypt that data.
So just a follow-up question.
Sure.
Maybe you can talk a little bit more about some of your reconfiguration costs or engineering to bring on a new satellite program or new project into your ground station system.
Sure. So you mean supporting new satellite projects and new communication?
Yeah, bringing it up on board, testing it out, making sure that your ground station will work with their particular communication protocols.
Sure. So we do have that in mind. So for example, let's say we install ground stations currently as an S-band, and we would actually provide customers the ability to interact with our ground stations and test their systems beforehand when they launch their systems. At the same time, there really isn't a whole lot to it to make sure that the things work, because as long as we clearly define the protocols and the frequencies and the domain and the orbit, we can easily provide them exactly the matched solution to their systems. And our systems at the same time for multiple bands really doesn't change a lot for different customers. It really is the same hardware and the same way of capturing the data and providing them the communication services. So it really is a very highly scalable system.
So, assuming you have a
Assuming that you have a scalable, fast scan, multiple band technology, are there any other data streams that you can capture that would translate into revenue streams for your company besides pursuing individual?
Sure. So there have been, we have explored many possibilities of what we can do. So for example, let's say when we have our ground stations, we have an incredible opportunity to use our ground stations as radars and provide that services to any customer who comes for reconnaissance or surveillance in that area. At the same time, we can do satellite ranging. So while our systems are idle, we can listen to multiple satellites and provide them orbital reconfiguration and precise data, like have your satellites move into different orbit. And this is the services that already same people, the big customers, the big suppliers already do that today. So when their satellite ground stations are idle, they already pursue these markets at the same time. So we actually we intend to do the same thing. However, our focus is really utilizing our ground stations to provide customers with communication services. Great. Thank you.